and gentlemen, to round number 18 for the USA Grand Prix. Season 4 for this George Russell career mode. And obviously just got back from work, well, about 1 hour ago, technically speaking. And obviously I thought I'd do a quick video tonight, you know, on F1 2018, you know, to try and get this Season 4 finished and maybe consider a Season 5, of course. But obviously that's only a consideration. Right now in the championship, though, we are 9 points away. Yeah, 9 points away from taking the championship lead from Valtteri Bottas with 4 races to go. USA Grand Prix, Mexican Grand Prix, Brazilian Grand Prix, and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So it's going to be close, as you can tell. And even though we are 9 points behind, Daniel Ricciardo is 31. What it does mean, we are now effectively, or have effectively, well, not a 2-horse race, to be precise. We do have a 3-horse race. We have a outsider's chance, okay, in Daniel Ricciardo. We have the favourite in Valtteri Bottas. Well, the firm favourite in Valtteri Bottas. And then we've got the underdog in myself, of course. And really, let's get into it. Let's stop wasting time. Let's get into the career mode video then today. And yeah, you know, obviously see what we can do. You know, here at the circuit of circuit of Americas, that's it. Okay, at COTA, obviously. And this is one of my favourite tracks in the game, probably. And probably, you know, added to the calendar in recent years. It was added to the calendar back in 2012. And since then, I think this is a bit like Silverstone, but American. It's got its own American twist to it. And also, there are other tracks that it reminds me of. Turkey a little bit, in some ways. So, for me, this circuit here is a very, very nice circuit, obviously. So, it's a good circuit. It's a solid circuit. And obviously, that's what we want, really, going into today's race. But just because we do well here doesn't mean we cannot do well at other circuits. We need, really, the last 4 races to come together, regardless of how this one comes. Obviously, this is one of those 4. So, obviously, you know, being one of those 4, we need to do well. And we haven't had a win okay since Italy. So I would like to get back on the top step of the podium here, potentially. Hold it. Yeah, I would like to get back on the top step of the podium here, as I was saying. But to do so, we need to do well. Oh dear, that's not good. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like and share all my videos. That's of course if you like them. So far, that's decent. Right, down the hill. Work was good today in the pub that I work in. It was quite nice, of course.
That's looking good. Now let's try for purple. You'll get a bonus
Right,
for consistency.
let's go again.
Corners together.
If you're wondering why I'm not speaking maybe as much throughout this video, that's because obviously I've got a bit of a bad throat, so I'm just sort of resting here a little bit.
This is the last lap of the program. Final lap of the program.
Alright, if we get one green here, we're not gonna do it. The rest of the lap, we'll abandon the lap, go into the next program. So we can't get. Right, there we go. Right, we'll abandon the lap. Right, we're gonna pull on a car setup now. I feel like the grip overall was good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie there. So I'm actually happy with the car's handling right now. I just feel like we're lacking a bit of maybe straight line speed, if anything. But we won't want to take off too much, I don't think. So right, I'm gonna change some parts if we can. Right, so we're gonna have a new turbocharger and a new MGUH, which might just give us a small hope of improvement going forth. With 4 races to go, we'll easily be able to get them 3 parts. Well, 2 parts to the end, them 2 anyway. I'm a bit more concerned about my engine, if anything. Well, my gearbox is going to be fine. So I know I'm not going to take a penalty there. Probably won't have to take a penalty for the other 2 parts either. So really, if we're going to take any penalties, it'll be a 10 place, I think it's a 10 place grid drop. So obviously but it's about when and where we take that penalty, if you know what I mean, at the moment, rather than if we're going to take it. Because I think, you know, the thing is, right, we've got an option, I think, personally. We should be fine for Mexico, okay, with the same engine. We're going to be easily okay for this race.
Alright, get ready to jump out if you get too hot in there. There's a problem with the cooling system, and it's going to take us a few minutes to correct it.
Yeah, as I was saying, we should be fine for Mexico. We're going to be we'll easily survive here. It's about knowing when and where. See, what I was thinking, maybe Mexico could be the place to take an engine grid drop. Because if my teammate ain't competitive, I think we'd have to see where my teammate finishes. Because I'll show you what I mean. Right. Engine wear is at 39%, so it's about to tick over into the 40. Okay? Probably this weekend. So next race will be at around 50% in qualifying. Almost probably in 60. That can easily do that probably one race. Like, and give me the same amount of horsepower as we would have here. It's just about knowing when and where. Right. Let's go. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
Well, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the perfect lap in the world, but it's just annoying. Third. We did a really nice first sector. I will say that. And we did an alright last sector. So Ricardo went fourth. But we lost time in the middle.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Right, through final sector of course, as we come now. We are on our in lap. Alright, we'll prepare the final set of tyres. And the final lap, of course. So we did, where did we go well? We went well in the first and last sector. But our teammate, okay, not good for our teammate. Remember, if we outscore our teammate by 9 points, we will be championship leader by the end of this race. So, realistically...
Everyone ready?
Where does that...
Okay, let's go.
So right now, if we finishing third, we gain 15. He finishes 8. No, we would not be championship leader just yet. We'd be probably about 2 points behind right now, or 3 points. So right now, alright, so just warming up tyres, sort of. Right, last lap. Let's go. P6, teammate out-qualified us as well. Ah, that's annoying. Because I think for their, like, yeah, not much also, like, we blew it on the last lap, but the McLarens I think were a bit too far ahead for whatever reason. McLaren in these last few races have been lethal, but, you know, with us, you know, and Red Bull, you know, also Red Bull's been quite good in the last few races. We've only been really, well, the last 2 races, so far what the times have said, we've got the 3rd best car. Because we haven't outraced any, well, we haven't outraced the Red Bulls, we haven't outraced the McLarens, so that's a bit of a concern already, if you know where I'm coming from. But yeah, still. Anyway, we'll get into the race, of course. As Gemma said, that's not ideal, but we're not starting any lower than what my teammate is in that effect, if you know where I am coming from. And in fact, we are on the inside. And what's unique about Kota, if you do get a good launch, okay, you can really capitalize on the first corner. So it's not just all lost just yet. A good launch, good getaway. We could easily be heading into turn one in 3rd place, potentially. But it's all about the getaway.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation. There's 16 laps of fuel remaining.
Weather report.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So, as I say, it's going to be an interesting race today. And a good launch off the start-finish line will capitalise. So, the way this grid is shaking up, you got Fernando Alonso on pole position once again. Then you got the 2 Red Bulls of Ricciardo and Verstappen in that order. Then you've got Van Dorn, then you've got Bottas and myself, and Hulkenberg, unsurprisingly, but surprisingly, in 7th place. The reason why I say unsurprising, because obviously he always finishes 7th. So we're entering now, obviously, the final sector. And obviously, in a few moments' time, we'll be racing here at the Circuit Kota. As I say, if you don't hear too much commentary, please, obviously, do bear in mind I do have a sore throat. I will do a little bit of commentary, or as much as I can. And let's hope, though, nonetheless, we have a clean race. But right now, wins are not looking on the table right now. Even though it's a 2-horse race, this could easily become a 3-horse race. If Ricciardo can get himself back in the championship, which every time we finish us 2 like this, in 5th and 6th in qualifying, with Ricciardo at that front, or at the top 4, brings Ricciardo ever more likely. And remember, Ricciardo is the defending champion of what I'm aware. So here we go then. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go then. It's been an average start, but not anything compared to the top group. As we head into turn 1, my teammate comes across quite sharply, but at least we're not touching. That's the main thing. We're going to go around the outside of Valtteri Bottas there, which is a crucial move, potentially, for the championship. But even more crucial, Daniel Ricciardo is in 1st place. Heading up the hill now, obviously. And we've spun, even though I don't know why we spun there. I've been taking that corner in 3rd gear all weekend long, and we spun. It's like we had no rear end stability. I'm just going to use one flashback here, because that's very, very odd. We've been taking that corner 3rd gear all weekend, and you are witness. Have we spun there once? No, apart from 1st lap of the race. It's like the car just lost complete traction,
That's a strong start. Well done.
which was weird. Our race pace looking quite good. Oh, that was a brilliant exit.
Nice move. Good job.
Woohoo! Third place. That was lovely. Alright, time to turn up the engine and burn off some fuel. So interestingly, not doing any fast lap there, or fastest lap. Despite having best first sector. This car is absolutely lovely to drive in first sector, I tell you that now. All three sectors, it's really, really nice. In all fairness. But first sector, especially nice. And the last. Forgot to mention that. Middle sector, not too bad, but I feel like others are better than us right now. Right, we're probably going to be pitting same lap as the two in front of us.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds.
Bit wide.
This, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
How's fuel? Oh, we got a ton of fuel still. Oh dear, no, we went wide there. Losing about half a second. We'll gain that. Back up, but nonetheless.
In this lap, push now.
Right, so we're kind of in at the end of this lap, crucially. We'll have to see who's boxing. I think it's the right time anyway to box. Tyres don't feel as nice as what they did at the start of the stint, so you know.
Pit now.
So right now, Ricardo and I are the only two coming in right now. Interesting.
Release.
Good pit stop. Right, if we're going to be in clean air, effectively.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Well, we're in clean air. If we gain enough time, we can get Alonso here. We are racing Alonso, I would say. Let's try. Good. Right. DRS, come on. So past Kimi Räikkönen there. Just done fastest middle sector, yes. That's good.
Valtteri is in the pits.
Fastest final sector as well. It's going to be close between Alonso and I. We've also got Stroll to contend with. Going to have to go around the outside, and we've done it twice now. Yes, we barged our way past Lance Stroll, and you know what? We're gaining massively on Daniel Ricciardo as well, who's held up in some traffic. This is really turned the race on its head, these pit stops. We won't have DRS, Ricciardo will, so I do expect Ricciardo to get past. But hopefully, maybe they can make it a little bit difficult. Ooh!
Okay, car behind is now running the super soft tyre. That's the super soft on the car behind. replacing if it takes too much damage.
Did we just hit Ricardo? Oh, we did, didn't we? I went for the move on thingy. We locked up a little bit. I'm gonna just redo that because I don't want a broken front wing. There, that's roughly what we intended, okay? At least now Ricardo we've been driving well up to this point, I think anyway, so we sort of deserve a little bit of a slap. But this race, though, has honestly taken a different turn. Now you may be wondering why we're turning down the engine slightly, and there is a reason. We're gonna have DRS, plus I want to save our best to last.
Increase ERS deployment. Some information on Vettel. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Championship.
As things stand, we'll be leading the championship.
Right, so there we go. Right. We now need to think of this as a championship leading race now. We don't want to be silly here. Do we race Ricardo? Fight for the win? Or do we be clever? Hold a bit in reserve? Fight Ricardo. I say, you know what, forget that. Right, let's go now. Ricardo, say a prayer, mate. Time you. Oh, got a bit of a flip. Just hold the car, that's it, Julian. Right, got to regain. See, when we go for the win, it bites a little bit. But that's the whole point of a championship. We really are making our life hard, aren't we? You get nice, clean exits rather than getting sloppy ones. Even though through that first sector we are a bit lethal.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Right, we're slowly catching now. Ricardo once again. Just start thinking about it just a little bit more now. The lead of the race. Alright, let's get a nice...
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Go on, come on. Push that car, come on. Oh, that's annoying. Why is Ricardo braking so early? We didn't even lock up. Ricardo just broke very, very early. I will admit, okay, yeah, we've made 1 or 2 mistakes, but we have had the best pace, I think, today. Because lap after lap, we've been lapping consistently quicker than Ricardo, consistently quicker than Alonso. Having a good battle there with Daniel Ricciardo. And I think that was a well-earned position there now. I think we sort of redeemed ourselves after turn 1. Sort of weren't in right gear there.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Just kicking the tail out a little bit. I am going to drive these last few laps a bit defensively. But at the same time, calmly. Right, that's good. Got a nice gap. Gonna have to go a bit
Final lap of the race.
to the left because we didn't get a great exit off final corner.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Well, I don't think today's been bad. In all honesty, we've done a very, very good job, I think, personally. We're going to take championship lead most likely now, with the way things remain. Good exit. Just going to go slightly the long way round. There comes Daniel Ricciardo. A 3-second penalty, for fuck's sake! What? For what? Final lap, really, game? Right, there we go. Championship lead, another race win.
That's P1. Race win. Well done.
Yes, in Austin, Texas, baby. So that was a good. It was a good race win. I'd say highlight move was on lap. I think it was either 2 or 3. On Verstappen and Van Dorn. And you know what? I think that made our race today. Because, right, when you look at our pace, where were we? Well, right. We were no slower than Alonso, okay? A 132.7. He did a 132.7. Not really much slower than, really any other drivers. In fact, in all honesty, okay, all 6 of us today were actually very, very good there, when you look at that. 5 seconds separating us, and in terms of lap time, separated by less than half a second. In this order, obviously. Ricciardo, Alonso, myself, then obviously Verstappen, no, sorry, Bottas, Van Dorn, Verstappen was the slowest driver actually out of the top 4. But just look at the gap between us and really the rest of the field. Like, don't get me wrong, that's 1.4 seconds is the gap between us and the rest of the field. It's huge when you look at it. Okay, in all honesty, okay, it's not all of them. In fairness, Kevin Magnussen a 133. No, sorry, Carlos Sainz, sorry, a 133.4. So that's less than half a second slower. Okay, but nonetheless, it's still a huge gap. Really, from really what is, from what is effectively first in terms of lap time. That's about a second per lap. And if we just quickly check, right, because obviously they wouldn't have done 134s all through the race. Oh yeah, they did do 134s. Right, whilst they lapped roughly 134.8. Okay, whilst they were lapping 134.8, I was lapping in that first stint 133.2. So what's that? 2 seconds? Well, about, yeah, a second a lap quicker per lap, roughly. And in that last stint, I only was going no faster. Well, I was doing 135s towards the end and 134 and a load 134. That's why my pace did shear off quite a bit. But in that instant, we did do 132s quite consistently, low 133s to 132s. So we were quite good there. It's just that last few laps we were going into 135s, and we did get it back up to 134. But yeah, you know, obviously, as you can see, the lap times were consistent. And when we compare that to the rest, actually, in fact, okay, I think I can see where they were going wrong here today. Okay, quite a few of the laps were inconsistent for the AI. I don't know how he did a 132.7 on that first opening lap. Jeez, that's quick. But, you know, it is interesting, I think, to look into lap times. So what were they? He was doing, towards the end of that first stint, 133.2. We were doing 134. So, okay, maybe Ricardo was slightly faster. Then, in that second stint, I'm just going to look at lap 8 to 10. So we were doing 133.5, 133.5, 132.9. Just want to have a quick look at Ricardo. He was doing in between that. Effectively, he did the opposite to me. He did a 32.9, a 35, a 32.2. So I don't know how. Well, we must have done good anyway. But first sector, that's really where we triumphed today, as you'll see. We were so much quicker. We were doing actually 24s through that first sector. I think we were the only car doing 24s. Let's have a look. Yeah, the only car. Well, the only driver in between Ricardo and I. Let's see. Did he do any 24s? Nope. How about Bottas? Maybe Bottas could have done it. Nope. Van Dorn? Did he do it? Nope. Verstappen, surely. Nope. So we were the only driver in that first sector doing 24-second sectors in that first sector, believe it or not, which is quite impressive when you look at it from that light. How about the middle sector? We did get fastest middle and fastest. So we were doing 130, 36, 39, 36.9. But majority of race. Doing quite consistently into the 37s. 37s. Didn't even get a 36. He didn't. Wow. Did he get into 36? No. No. Nope. Again. No one did 36s. Final sector. Surely they must have matched us. Well, we were very close into the 29s. Yeah, 29s. 30.0. I'm pretty sure they would have matched us in that final sector. Yep. So, two of the sectors we actually got quite nicely, you know, in. So, right, there we go then. We are championship leader as well. I didn't see how many points by. Right, teammate finished 6th, so he gets up 8 points. Take away that from 18 to... Oh, wow.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective.
That's 17-point
Was there
gain.
really any competition for you today?
So I think would be... Oh,
you were cutting your way through the field during the race. You must be happy with the result today. You've taken the lead in the championship. Are you going to be able to keep up that momentum?
So yeah,
Appreciate your time.
3 races to go now of this final. Well, so far I'm calling it a final season, because I don't know whether I'm going to do another season of career mode on F1 2018. Obviously, I will be doing it on F1 2019 when that comes out. If it comes out, we'll have to wait and see. So you could see a revival series of this maybe in the in the long future sort of thing. But there we go. So in terms of championship lead, of what I can calculate, we're probably about 15 points ahead, if I'm correct. And there we go, actually. Big news, everyone. We are, as a team, we are world champions. I never even knew that. Sorry, guys. I never knew we were champions in the Constructors. So there we go. So Constructors Championship, we are world champions. You know, for the season 4. Well, season 4, we are Constructors Champions. So the only thing now left is Drivers Championship now. So
make sure you take these
obviously, yeah. So sorry, we're less than. So we're about what? Less than 9 points. We're 8 points ahead. But there we go. So we have done it then, ladies. Well, we haven't done it fully. Still 3 races to go. But we have done it in terms of the fact that we have taken the Constructors' Championship, meaning no one team can catch us now with that. And we'll obviously reflect back on our 2 seasons quickly with, well, our 4 seasons in Formula 1 to get to this place. So it all started out, obviously, as you quickly guys know, in season 1, with Williams F1, of course. And first few races, in all honesty, can't say they were brilliant, of course, in terms of results, but in terms of getting in the practice, of course they were vital. For instance, that 16th in Melbourne, that 17th in Bahrain, that 13th in Shanghai, vital results. And in that season overall, we had some surprising results as well, including one of which was a 7th place finish, okay, at Belgium in Spa-Francorchamps, followed up with an 8th place finish at the Italian Grand Prix, and 2 races later, we had a 10th place finish in Sochi. Obviously, going into or ending off season 1, we had 4 straight runs of 12th place finishes, which was quite good for us, considering our car was well below par. Season 2, however, was obviously a bit of a different story, as you can tell. Started off the season with 2 12th place finishes, bringing it up to 6 consecutive 12th place finishes. And of what I'm aware, that's the most consecutive results we've had in our career as of yet. But the points were coming thick and fast in season 2, with a 9th place finish straight away in Shanghai, then a 3rd in Canada, then obviously another 3 DNFs at the circuits, obviously where we haven't been ever good at in our career. But when we got after La Sacalais, the French Grand Prix, we went on a nice run of points, actually. In the next 5 Grand Prix, 6 Grand Prix, we took, 5 points finishes, starting out with a 1st, a 9th, a 6th, an 8th, and a 4th. All the way from Spielberg, Austria, to Italy, Monza, of course. And obviously, during that season, we picked up our first podium race win in the circuits of Montreal and Spielberg. Obviously, the Montreal podium was a bit of a surprise due to the fact there were some other reliability issues going on with other people's cars, for including Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas, our current teammate, of course. But we had a good season that season in season 4, which eventually, obviously, we decided, because of the regulation change, to move to a new team for season 3, Mercedes. And we did finish our career actually on a high at Williams. Well, considering to where we started in season 1, finishing 16th for our first race, we finished the last race of season in 12th, of course, for Williams F1. And that season, obviously, just want to remind you, the Constructors' Champions, of what I'm aware, was Mercedes Motorsport AMG, I think. I'm not sure. No, it wasn't, sorry. That's this season, of course. Right, anyway. Season 3, of course, though, was a bit of a different story. This was the first time we actually stood in a car that had race-winning capabilities and could probably finish every single race, if needed, okay, inside the points with ease. But it wasn't going to be the easiest start to our Mercedes career. But we did have a decent start, finishing 2nd in Melbourne, okay, and a 7th in Bahrain. Followed up by a 1st at the Chinese circuit of Shanghai, taking our 1st race win for Mercedes and 2nd of our career. Then, obviously, a 7th in Spain, Catalonia, a 6th in Canada, 2nd, another 2nd in France, then a 1st or a dominant win in Austria and Germany. Belgium, good race win also there, must say. Monza taking 2nd, but only due to a DRS failure. Singapore finishing 15th. Then we went on a run of 3 consecutive back-to-back race wins. I believe it's still, to this day, the most consecutive race wins we've ever had in our career as of this date. But we were actually in with a chance of winning the Drivers' Championship alongside the 2 Red Bulls. Obviously, going into last season, Daniel Ricciardo had about a 30-point lead going into the last 3 races. It wasn't going to be easy to overcome, and we had Max Verstappen also hot on our tail in terms of the championship. And it turned out, despite the good results from Austria to the USA Grand Prix, the next few races were not going to be, and the title was going to slip from our fingers. 18th place in Mexico, a 7th place in Brazil, and a 7th in Yas Marina. And obviously, to win this year's championship, it's been a bit of a different story. We've had probably the quickest car all season long. But, in all fairness as well, I just want to point out here, even though we've had the quickest car, we haven't had the most easiest of seasons, because our teammate has essentially been an absolute beast when it comes to luck. He got lucky in the first part of the season, and in all fairness, I honestly believe we could have won more Grand Prix, and we should have won more Grand Prix. For instance, Bahrain Shakir, on the last few laps of the Grand Prix, we had some sort of failure. I think it was a DRS failure or something like that. Shanghai, okay, we didn't get the best start. Okay, yes, that's our fault, but then we caught up our teammate. Then out came the safety car, and again that cost us a race win. Then Spain, obviously, yeah, I'm not going to say we could have won that, because but I definitely know we had the pace, and we should have. That was one race where we should have taken a race win or taken the race win. But we bounced back in France, Austria, Hockenheim, Hungary, Monza, and even, you could say, for the last few races, we've been on fire compared to our teammate, taking a 2nd in Scorchi, Suzuka, and Austin, Texas, of course. So, it's been a very, very good season for us, as you can tell. Now, let's have a quick look, though, at how things have got here in terms of as a team. Because, obviously, winning Constructors isn't about an individual driver or person, it's about a team collectively. So, let's just show you what I mean. Compared to the other teams, obviously, as you can see, the season started quite nice for us, taking a 3rd and 2nd in Australia, followed up by a 1-2, 1-2, and a 1st and 8th in Bahrain. Then, obviously, a 2nd and 5th to us in Spain, 6th and 12th in Monaco, probably one of the worst races of the season as of to date. Then a 1st and 4th, 1st and 2nd, 1-2, another 1-2, then a disqualification and a 7th place, followed up by a 1-2 and a 1-2. Then a 4th and 18th, don't know what went on there for my teammate. Then a 1st and 6th, DNF and 6th. Then it's 1-2, 2-4, 1-6 to take, obviously, the Constructors' Championship. And when you compare that to, when you have a look at this season as a team, we have won, okay, well, my teammates won 5 Grand Prix. We have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've won 6 Grand Prix. So together that's 11 Grand Prix in total race win. Compare that to everyone else. Okay, yeah, Ricardo's won also 5. Well, yeah, Ricardo's also won 5. Alonso won the first race of the season, surprisingly, somehow. But the point is, if it wasn't for Ricciardo, I don't know who would have won them Grand Prix. If it wasn't for, you know, certain factors also, again, there would have been even more. So, there we go. So, obviously, only one now last thing to do as a team, and that's get the driver's trophy and bring it home. But, yeah, let's just have a look and reflect, though, also quickly on the actual standings. So, and I really think this is interesting here. We, you know, won with 3 races to go, meaning we won over 100 and what? Let me just work out. 150 something points. And in all fairness, I don't think we've ever had a season quite like it. Even when Mercedes did well in season 2. Actually, here is Mercedes' results in season 2. Even season 2 for Mercedes, Bottas 247. But really, the last season we actually, as a team, had a the last time Mercedes won the championship was actually back in season 1. Both championships, I believe they won, actually, of what I can remember. I believe they won the constructors and drivers, but only really thanks to Hamilton there that season. But this season's been a bit of a contradictory to that, if you know what I mean. It's been actually more about both of us working as a team. And what's nice, about us two, last season, I think I triumphed. I came in, as a driver, and this is what I really, really like about this season of career mode so far. We came in as a driver, we triumphed, meaning, we top trumped our teammate, basically. No one came, our teammate didn't come close. In fact, the gap was over 50 points in our favour. So my teammate had to overcome 50 points to really, make the difference this season, And I had to really, the team, it wasn't really I had to overcome a 40-point deficit to Ricciardo, and to Verstappen, effectively. And what's nice, my teammate has surpassed, hasn't even surpassed my last season's goal, but very, very close to it, of course. But has only really, even up to this late stage of the championship, is only 8 points behind. He's led the championship, Well, we've only led the championship twice now. We've only led the championship of one away in Italy and in the USA, Grand Prix. Twice, all season long. Meaning he's led the championship. And let me make sure I'm correct here. He's led the championship for 16 rounds. And I think that's quite insane. A man who was last season down and, beaten, came back and beat us. A bit like what he did in maybe season 2. You could draw some comparisons there. He had actually a 50-point deficit in season 2 to overhaul to Hamilton. And in fact, he top trumped Hamilton the next season and gave Hamilton even worse sort of thing. Considering that's Hamilton. Anyway, see you all next time for another video. Obviously, next time we will do Mexican Grand Prix. Obviously, as I say, Mexico, it's going to be a bit of a difficult one. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's going to be a difficult one, but it's going to be an interesting one. Put it that way. Put it in your books or your diaries. Obviously, I'll probably be doing it either tomorrow or Thursday. So see you all next time.